Hello everyone. So today we're talking about Animal Crossing, but not New Horizons. We're talking the history of Animal Crossing, when it started, where it started, and how it all began. And did you know out there, guys, if you guys are huge Animal Crossing fans or new Animal Crossing fans to the series, it was actually on the Nintendo 64. So back in the day, back in like in the late 90s and early 2000s, the Nintendo 64 of its cycle. So it was the end, almost to the end of its cycle, because the GameCube was back at that time was announced, and it's gonna be the new family of systems of Nintendo 64. Was going to have a DD, which is a disc drive, like smaller games into the magnetic disc drive of the Nintendo 64 DD. It was a failure. It was a failure. It didn't really work out for N64. Animal Forest, it was called, before it changed its name to Animal Crossing. So Animal Forest was the original name of Animal Crossing. If you guys didn't know that, it was going to be on the Nintendo 64. That's what started the whole before they ported to the GameCube. So so it started in the N64 days. I never played the N64 version, but I heard it's like a light Animal Crossing. It's like a beta Animal Crossing game, but you're missing some features to it, like the Ava Sisters and Bladders. So it's missing some features because the GameCube added those features in that you wanted for the N64. So, but what's interesting about the Animal Forest on N64, they added a in-time clock, which they never did with the N64 in general. So this is like a very expensive thing to do, because it was like they had to take so much like the hardware, everything, into a smart cartridge, so they could put the real in-time clock into it to let this game actually run. So there was so much translation from Japanese to English, and the Asian team of that time that they had to make it very more, because Animal Forest was a more Japanese Animal Crossing game, so it was more for Japanese gamers. It wasn't for the American audience yet, so they had to basically pour all the Japanese and all that Japanese influence in Animal Forest and switch over to Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing had started picking up the name a little better in the Western audience, because Animal Forest was kind of like a okay name, but Animal Crossing sounded like a much better for the Western audience and to Japanese audience as well. So that's why they changed the name to that, instead to get the American audience into it. Oh, this is an interesting game. So not like a system seller. Animal Crossing, it's like crazy. So it started as this very small IP to let players know about Animal Crossing, what it is, and they were showing it to them, showcasing it at before E3 was around. It was Nintendo World at that time, where they showcased the players of what they're going to showcase. It was on the GameCube. So so that's what they were doing at that time. So got that part done. So what started the Animal Crossing? The directors. It was two directors. I'm sorry. I'm not to be rude. It's hard to pronounce their names. So it was just up here in their main titles right here. So it was this director and it was that director. They were finishing Yoshi's Story, and they were like, okay, what game should we do next? So they were thinking about that and thinking about this and that. So the director of coming up with ideas and stuff, trying to make up your games. You gotta come up with good ideas for yourself in order to make a game actually happen. So the first director was playing Diablo, and there's monsters and everything, but he likes the communication aspect of the game. So he liked that communication to the player and into the game, how they were communicating. So they put that into Animal Crossing, and that's how Psycho into like the whole communication, like there's no action, there's no RPG. It's a communication game. It's like it's like the real world, but in a video game. So it's kind of like that similarity basically of that communication genre in video games. So that's what they did with this game. So yeah. So and then as they were coming ideas and stuff, and then they had to how they were going to make the game actually happen. Well, they actually hired 7 female video game designers. Like one did this, the other did that. Like all these, like it was probably like a small group of people. Okay, so a small group of people, and they were coming up with ideas because the female video game designers know how to make things cute. Like cute as like in the definition of cute. So they kind of took like aspects of the clothes because they know how to define that in a way. Because you know how to make things cute, make things look interesting. So that's why they hired those people to make this game happen. So so that's how kind of like how it all began basically. So the reports and what came after which. And so anyway, Animal Crossing was ported from N64 to the GameCube. So they took all this, like, okay, within Animal Forest, they took that and then they ported to the GameCube. And, but there's so much like Japanese and there's much influence in there, so they had to like make things changes a little bit, change it up a little bit with the localization team of Nintendo to get approved by Nintendo America in order to get the Western audience interested in Animal Crossing as well. Instead of Japanese audience. So yeah, so they did that, and it became a huge success. Actually, it became huge because it was Animal Crossing. It was a new title at the time, but it became like a hit and became a sellout, and it's crazy. It's crazy how this like small game on Nintendo 64 became this huge thing in America and in Japan as well, because of how it all started. Basically, it started in that time period of when they were making this. So yeah. So anyway, it was a huge hit in America. It's popular here in America. It's very popular in Japan too. It's both. It's all around the world too. Animal Crossing is like a huge game now. It's huge. Yeah. So it's a huge game. So yeah. And yeah, so they were porting it. Everyone loved it, and then they want to make sequels. Say about the GameCube version to Japan, and they translated there and they retired the name. And so Matsuna Mori, which is Animal Forest in Japan, and then that's what they call it still. So Animal Forest plus E, I think it's called. So they were doing it over there too, because they want the GameCube, the Japanese players to get interested in the GameCube version as well. So that's why they reported it, they took the American version into the Japanese version, like that. And they did that, so they did that in Access as well. And then they did Wild World on DS. That was the first actually the first like online, because Animal Crossing on the GameCube did not have that type of feature. They didn't have like an online multiplayer. How they did multiplayer was they took your friend's game memory card and put in the slot B, and that's how. And you go to as Preorder, who's like the monkey in the game, and you go to like slot B, as in like that's how they kind of did multiplayer. They go to like his or her town, like your friend's town basically, and then you look over your town, like your friend's town. You can do some cool stuff. And before Amiibos, before this became like an actual thing, they did this thing called e-cards, where you swipe it on your GameCube, like on your Game Boy, like Advance. You have like a little swipe thing. You can swipe, you get like rewards, you get more NES games with them. You get clothes. It was like I think I remember them that well, but I don't really like fully remember them. Yeah. So and then they became like the Amiibos, and they have Animal Crossing cards as well. for the like if you want to use a card. It was kind of like the next gen of from e-readers basically. So that's what they did with that. So that's okay. That's all that happened as well. So yeah, and then they made City Folk with the me. They're trying to get players to push into the me thing, and it wasn't. I remember that too. I remember I got City Folk on the Wii back when I was a kid. It looks like they just took a me and they just put it in there. They didn't do anything like logical. It didn't really make no sense at all. I remember and also they did this thing called the Wii Speak, where you like speak into your thing, and you didn't have a headset or anything. It was like a free hands thing. Free hands like microphones you use for your to chat with your friends on the Wii. It didn't really work. It was a cool idea, but it didn't really work. It was like I remember things so well when it came out. That thing did not work at all. I remember that. That was like a cool idea, but it was like a cool idea, but it just wasn't working. It just wasn't. It didn't really catch his attention basically. So yeah, so they did that, and then they did Wild World, City Folk, and then they did New Leap on the 3DS. So that's gonna go bye soon because New Horizons is gonna come out soon. It's coming like in not this week, but in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks. It comes out. So I'm very excited to play it with you guys on stream and all the videos I'm gonna do on it, like all the how-tos. Yeah. So they did. So they did New Leaf, and they did this thing in the Wii. It's really bad. Do not buy it. I heard it's like not. I did not play it for myself. I don't have the game in Euro, so I don't really have the Wii U version of it. Of the like the Amiibo Festival it's called. We had to use these Animal Crossing Amiibos. We had to tap each time to play. It looked like so bad. It didn't look like it was fun. I seen like videos on it too on the internet, and it just it doesn't catch my attention. Mario Party catches my attention a little more. So they did that. Yeah, that thing was just. It wasn't a good. It was just to get you. It was just to get you to buy the Amiibos basically. Yeah, just to buy Amiibos. Animal Crossing. So they did that, and then now they're going. Oh wait, no. Sorry. They did that, and then they did. They went to back to 3DS. They did like a spin-off game, which is Happy Home Designer. I never played it. I only played it New Leap on 3DS. I used to have my 3DS. I kind of miss my 3DS now. I kind of miss it because I play the Switch now. So like the Switch is taking over. It took me over basically. So I really don't need the 3DS anymore. It just wasn't like. I didn't really play that much. I don't really play my Switch a lot more now since I got it. So yeah. They did that, and then they did the Pocket Camp. Pocket Camp, it's cool, but I kind of want a full Animal Crossing game. So New Horizons is gonna come out in 2 weeks. So yeah, that's all for this video I made you guys. So make sure you guys like this video. Subscribe to the channel and ding that bell where you know from my videos and everything. And peace out gamers. Peace out gamers as always. Peace out.